I get a lot of letters from young people, kids in their 22nd, sometimes even younger, and they all ask basically the same question: Bill, how do I get rich? And I smile when I read those letters because I remember being that age. I remember wanting to build wealth. I remember having big dreams and no money. I started with nothing, really. I was tinkering with computers at Lakeside School, writing my first software program at 13, doing little side projects that barely made any money. Paul Allen and I built the Trafo data machine as teenagers to analyze traffic data. It did not make us rich, but it taught us a ton about persistence and innovation. And I had something more valuable than money. I had time, I had curiosity, and I was willing to learn. That is the beautiful thing about being young. You have the most valuable asset in the world: time. Time for compound interest to work its magic, time to make mistakes and recover, time to build something extraordinary. I dropped out of Harvard at 19 to chase the idea that personal computers could change the world, even when everyone thought it was crazy. So that is what I want to talk about today, the 10 pieces of advice I wish I could give every young person who wants to be rich, not just financially comfortable, not just doing okay, but truly wealthy. The kind of wealth that gives you freedom for the rest of your life, the freedom to tackle big problems like global health or climate change, as I've done through my foundation. I will warn you up front, some of this advice is going to sound boring. Some of it you have probably heard before. But here is the thing. Knowing something and doing something are two completely different things. Most people know what they should do, they just do not do it. So as I go through these 10 pieces of advice, ask yourself, am I actually doing this, or am I just nodding along and planning to do it someday? Because someday never comes. Someday never leads to success. It is the daily grind and execution that do, like the countless late nights coding BASIC for the Altair 8800 that kicked off Microsoft. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. All right, the first piece of advice, and this is the most important one, the foundation of everything else. Invest in yourself first before you invest in anything else. When you are young, your biggest asset is not money, it is you, your skills, your knowledge, your ability to earn. And the return on investment from improving yourself is higher than anything you will ever get in the stock market. When I was in my early 22nd, I was dropping out of Harvard to start Microsoft, but I knew I had gaps in my knowledge, especially in business and management. I dove into books obsessively, everything from business strategies to science and history. I did not have formal classes, but I invested time in self-education, reading voraciously to build my understanding of the world. And you know what? That investment in learning might be the best one I ever made. Why? Because learning to think broadly, to connect ideas from different fields, that skill has been worth billions to me. It opened doors. It helped me innovate in software, raise money for Microsoft, build relationships with partners like IBM. It changed everything. That is what I mean by investing in yourself. Take courses, read books, tons of books, aim for 50 a year like I do, learn new skills, get certifications if they are valuable in your field, like coding boot camps or AI training today. Travel if it broadens your perspective, exposing you to new ideas and cultures, just as my trips to Africa opened my eyes to global poverty and inspired the Foundation's work. Do whatever makes you more knowledgeable, more capable, more valuable to the marketplace. Because nobody can take those investments away from you. The stock market can crash, real estate can collapse, but your knowledge and your skills are yours forever, and they compound just like money does. I still read 5 or 6 hours a day even now, because I am still investing in myself. I am still learning about global health, climate change, AI, and that is why I am still relevant, still making good decisions, still adding value through the Gates Foundation, So if you are young and you are trying to decide between saving a few hundred or taking a course that will make you better at your job, take the course, invest in yourself. That is the foundation. As I have always said, success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they cannot lose. But investing in yourself keeps you grounded and growing, ready to adapt to whatever the future throws at you, like how I pivoted from software to philanthropy after realizing technology alone cannot solve inequality. The second piece of advice, and this one is critical, start investing your money as early as humanly possible, even if it is just a tiny amount. You know what kills me? When I see young people in their 22nd saying, oh, I will start investing when I make more money. I will start when I am 30. I will start when I have $10,000 saved up. No, start now, today. Even if you only have $50, even if you can only invest $20 a month, start. Because compound interest needs time to work, and the younger you are, the more time you have. Time is worth more than money when it comes to investing. Here is what I mean. If you invest $5,000 a year, starting at age 25, and you get a 10% return, by age 65, you will have about $2.4 million. But if you wait until you are 35 to start investing that same $5,000 a year, you will only have about $900,000 by 65. You have lost $1.5 million by waiting 10 years. Those first 10 years matter more than the last 20 because the money you invest early has the most time to compound. I started saving and thinking about money young. My parents encouraged me to read about investing as a teen, and by 19 I was already pouring earnings from programming gigs into building Microsoft. So do not wait. Open a brokerage account, buy an index fund, put 20 bucks a month into it if that is all you can afford. Just start. And remember, save like a pessimist and invest like an optimist. Prepare for the worst, but believe in long-term growth, because that is how you turn small steps into massive gains over decades. The third piece of advice is boring, but absolutely crucial. Live below your means. Not at your means, not close to your means. Below your means. Most young people start making money and immediately increase their lifestyle to match their income. First real job, $40,000 or $50,000 a year, and suddenly they need a nice apartment, a new car, all the latest gadgets. Then they get a raise and spending goes up, another raise, more spending. They live right at the edge of what they make, sometimes beyond it with credit cards. The rich do not do this. The rich keep their expenses low even as their income grows. They maintain the gap between earning and spending. That gap is where wealth comes from. I have lived below my means my entire life. When I was making $200 a month, I lived on $150. When I was making thousands a month, I lived on hundreds. And it is easier than it sounds, because if you never get used to an expensive lifestyle, you do not miss it. People trap themselves by upgrading immediately. Then they cannot go backwards. They cannot save more because they have committed to expensive things. So here's what I want you to do. When you get a raise, do not change anything about your lifestyle. Keep living exactly like you were. Take that entire raise and invest it. If you can resist upgrading every time your income goes up, you will be wealthy before you know it, because you maximize that gap and turn income growth into investment growth. And do not compare yourself to others. True wealth is security and freedom, not flash. I have always been frugal. People are surprised I wear a cheap watch or wash my own dishes, but I value experiences and impact over material things, like using savings to fund research instead of buying yachts. The fourth piece of advice goes against what everyone tells you. Do not worry about getting rich quick. Focus on getting rich, for sure. Young people are impatient. They see someone make a fortune in crypto or a hot stock, and they think that is the path. But that is gambling, not investing. Most people who chase quick riches end up staying poor because they take big risks on things they do not understand and they lose. The wealthy people I know did not get wealthy quickly. They got wealthy slowly and surely. They compounded over decades. They were patient. I have been investing for over 70 years, and the vast majority of my wealth was created after I turned 50, not because I suddenly got smarter, but because compound interest finally had enough time to work its magic. That is the secret nobody wants to hear. Your 20 seconds and 30 seconds are for planting seeds. The real harvest comes later, but only if you are patient enough to let those seeds grow. Ignore get-rich-quick schemes. Ignore people claiming they can teach you to make millions overnight. Real wealth is built slowly through consistent investing in good assets over long periods of time. Be the tortoise, not the hare. Slow and steady wins every single time. Patience is a key element of success. It is what allowed Microsoft to dominate after years of building, not overnight flips. The fifth piece of advice, and I cannot stress this enough, protect your reputation like it is the most valuable thing you own, because it is. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you will do things differently. When you are young, you might be tempted to cut corners, be dishonest, get ahead, take advantage of people, chase money in ways that compromise your integrity. Do not even once, not even when you think nobody will find out, because your reputation is everything. It determines who wants to do business with you, who trusts you, who gives you opportunities. And once it is damaged, it is almost impossible to repair. I have built Berkshire Hathaway on a foundation of trust and integrity. People know that when they deal with me, I am going to be honest, fair, and do what I say I will do. That reputation's been worth billions, literally billions, because people want to sell me their businesses. They want me as a partner. They trust me with their money. If I'd ever lied or cheated, I would not have any of that. So protect your reputation. Be honest even when it costs you. Be fair even when you could get away with being unfair. Keep your promises. Do what is right. During the Microsoft antitrust trials, we faced scrutiny, but owning up and focusing on ethical practices helped rebuild trust. Integrity is not just moral, it is smart business. The sixth piece of advice is practical and powerful. Learn to live on one income if you are part of a couple. And if you are single, live on half your income. If you are married or in a partnership and both of you are working, do not build a lifestyle that requires both incomes. Build a lifestyle that requires one income and invest the other entirely. That accelerates wealth building dramatically, and it gives you security. If one person loses their job or wants time off, you can still maintain your lifestyle. Most couples do the opposite. Both people work, and they build a lifestyle that needs both incomes. Big mortgage, 2-car payments, expensive childcare, private schools. They are trapped. And single people do the same thing. They spend everything they make. But if you are single, you should be investing even more aggressively because you have flexibility. Live on half your income, invest the other half, and watch your wealth grow faster than you ever thought possible. I have always kept personal expenses low. That discipline is what allowed me to reinvest so much of what I earned and let compound interest work. Save like a pessimist. Build a buffer for uncertainties, because life throws curveballs, but it positions you to invest boldly when opportunities arise. The seventh piece of advice is often overlooked. Surround yourself with people who are better than you, people who challenge you, people who make you uncomfortable. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you hang around broke people who do not value money or education or growth, you will probably end up the same way. But if you surround yourself with ambitious, smart people who are building something, you will rise to that level. Paul Allen was that person for me early on. We met as kids, And his vision pushed me to think bigger about computers. Later, Steve Ballmer challenged me at Microsoft, bringing energy and sales savvy that complemented my tech focus. Conversations with them made me smarter. They pointed out mistakes. They made me uncomfortable sometimes. And that was exactly what I needed. Seek people like that. Find mentors. Find friends who are smarter than you, more successful than you, more disciplined than you. Learn from them. Let them push you. And be careful about people who drag you down, who mock your ambitions, who encourage spending instead of saving, who are content with mediocrity. You do not have to cut them out completely, but do not let them set your standards. Choose people who make you better, not people who keep you the same. The 8th piece of advice is to take care of your health like it is an investment, because it is. People focus so much on building wealth that they ignore health. They work crazy hours, do not exercise, eat terribly, sleep too little, and think they will fix it later after they make money. That is backwards. Your health is your foundation. Without it, nothing else matters. You can have all the money in the world, but if you are sick, you cannot enjoy it. I am in my 70 seconds now, and I am still working, still active, still enjoying life, traveling for the foundation, playing bridge tennis. A big reason is that I have taken care of myself reasonably well. Not perfect, but consistent. Exercising regularly, eating decently, getting sleep. Your body's the only one you get. You cannot trade it in for a new model. So take care of it now. Exercise regularly, eat decent food, get enough sleep. Do not smoke, do not drink excessively. These habits do not cost much. They save you money and buy you something priceless, more healthy years to enjoy the wealth you build. I have seen wealthy people destroyed by preventable health problems, heart attacks, diabetes, stroke, all from neglect. Do not make that mistake. Schedule exercise like a meeting you cannot miss. Prepare healthy food. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. I have taken up pickleball for over 50 years. It has kept me fit and sharp. Meditation has become my favorite habit for mental clarity. The 9th piece of advice is controversial, but I believe it strongly. Do not try to time the market or chase trends. Just buy index funds and hold them forever. Young people think they need to be clever, pick the next Amazon, trade in and out to maximize returns. But most professionals cannot beat the market. Most mutual fund managers underperform. So what makes you think you will outsmart everyone? You will not, and you do not need to. You just need to match the market. The easiest way is an S&P 500 index fund. Buy it, hold it, add to it every month for decades. It is boring, but it works. Over long periods, the market returns about 10% a year. If you match that, you will be wealthy because you were consistent and patient. I have recommended this for years. Bet on America, buy the S&P 500, hold it forever. The people who listened did well. The people who tried to be clever often sold at the wrong time, bought at the wrong time, chased trends, and got burned. Keep it simple. Index funds, consistent investing, long time horizon, that is advice number 9. My own portfolio is diversified, but for most index funds are the smart, low-risk way to grow wealth steadily. Now, the 10th and final piece of advice, and it might be the most important for happiness, remember that money is a tool for freedom, not a scorecard for success. A lot of young people chase wealth for the wrong reasons. They want to impress people. They want to prove something. They want to win an imaginary competition. But money is not about having more than your neighbors or classmates. Money is about freedom. Freedom to do what you want. Freedom to work on projects you care about. Freedom to say no. Freedom to help people you love. Freedom to live on your own terms. I have never cared about impressing people with my wealth. I drive an old car sometimes. I live in the same house I bought in the 90 seconds. I do not own a yacht or a mansion. Why? Because those things do not give me freedom. They take it away. They require maintenance and worry and attention. They are burdens disguised as luxuries. What I value is freedom. The freedom to spend my days studying global issues, investing in innovation, learning about AI or vaccines, working with people I respect, saying no to things that do not interest me. That is what money has bought me, not stuff, freedom. So as you build wealth, keep asking yourself, am I building freedom or am I building a prison of expensive things I have to maintain? Choose freedom every time, live simply, invest aggressively, build wealth steadily, use that wealth to create a life you love, not a life that impresses people you do not even care about. And give back, because true fulfillment comes from helping others, as I have found through philanthropy, committing to give away virtually all my wealth to solve global problems. All right, let me recap the 10 pieces of advice. 1, invest in yourself first. 2, start investing early, even small amounts. 3, live below your means. 4, do not chase get-rich-quick schemes. Focus on getting rich for sure. 5, protect your reputation like it is your most valuable asset. 6, live on one income or half your income and invest the rest. 7, surround yourself with people better than you. 8, take care of your health. 9, buy index funds and hold them forever. 10, remember money is for freedom, not for impressing others. If you actually follow them, not just read them, you will be wealthy. They are not complicated. They are disciplined. Most people fail not because they do not know what to do, but because they do not do it consistently. They know they should save, but they spend. They know they should invest, but they wait. They know they should be patient, but they chase quick profits. So here is a bonus piece of advice. Make your good habits automatic. Do not rely on willpower. Set up systems. Have money automatically transferred from your paycheck to your investment account. Have bills automatically paid. Create routines that do not require thinking. Willpower is limited. It runs out. Systems and habits run forever once you set them up. I have followed the same basic habits for decades. Reading every day, investing consistently, living simply. They are not things I think about anymore. They are just who I am. That is what I want for you. Make these principles part of your identity, because if you do, you will be amazed at what happens. Not overnight, not in a year, but in 10, 20, 30 years. You will be wealthy beyond what you think is possible. And more importantly, you will be free. Free to live on your terms, free to make choices based on what you want, not what you can afford. Free to help others, free to pursue your passions. When I look back, I do not think about the money. I do not think about Microsoft's stock price or my net worth. I think about the life I have been able to live, the work I enjoyed, the people I knew, the things I learned, and the freedom to pursue what interested me, like eradicating diseases or advancing education. That is what wealth gave me. Not luxury, not status, freedom. So take these 10 pieces of advice seriously, write them down, think about how you will implement them, then do it starting today. Do not wait until you are 30 or 40 or 50. Start now while time is on your side. If you start now and follow these principles consistently, you will be financially independent by middle age with decades of freedom ahead. But if you wait, you might never get there, and one day it will be too late. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with purpose. You have everything you need: time, opportunity, access to information. All you need now is discipline and patience. So go do it. Start investing in yourself. Start saving and investing. Start building the life you want. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. If you are watching this video, grab a pen right now, list these out, and take your first step today. Thank you for listening. Now, go build that wealth. Go build that freedom. You have got this. Good luck.